use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang!
Great stars! Yes! She got up!
He's just perfect. And now
Sweet it is! Collingwood win the grand final! It's time!
Welcome to Racing Xtra, powered by Corpshaw. I'm your host, Bella King, and joining me this week is self-proclaimed punting god, Luke Dittman, Racing X Chief of Operations, and the early crow extraordinaire, Sterling Sincotta. And this week, our friends at Pickering Luxury Garage picked up our special guest in a Lamborghini Urus. So I hope you all have your 5 cents ready because we have Australia's most viral punter, Benny Scarf, joining us.
Yes,
Welcome to Racing Extra, boys.
This made me very uncomfortable.
Okay, they're going to get really awkward. Welcome.
All right, Benny. Well, thank you so much for joining us as our very first special guest. You've hit the scene and gone viral incredibly quickly. I actually remember on your first week of betting coming home to Luke and his roommate Alex watching the last at Randwick just to see how you'd go.
Yep.
Can you give us a bit more background on yourself and how you even came up with this idea?
So came up with the idea. I wouldn't. Well, Tim Narkey, the goat, my dad in many ways. I've just nicked the idea.
My dad.
I've just blatantly nicked the idea. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and pretend like I've made it up. Like Tim Narkey, 10 cents for every
He did 10
follower
cents.
on every blackjack.
And went
hand.
nuts, obviously.
I thought,
Went nuts.
Genius. I thought, fuck, I'm going to throw a dartboard. I still don't know how to play blackjack. But I half know horse racing. So I did the last favourite of the day in Sydney. And that took off. I think I quit my job in like 5 days or something like that.
Dead set.
Yeah, 5 days. Took me
So
5
what do
days.
you like? So follow account. What did it start at? And obviously it's over 100 now. What did it start at?
Start at 0, obviously.
Oh, so it's just a new account.
proper
blah,
new
blah,
account.
blah.
Proper new account. And then
Fuck, that's phenomenal.
first bet was $150. The second day was like 500.
Wow.
Third day was like
So you were like
1,500.
hand
Fourth
in the
day
back of the
fourth
couch.
day I was like, holy shit. I started at 50 cents. Then I went down to 10. Now I'm down to 5. And now I'm at 175,000, I think, this morning. So yeah, it's wild.
Jesus.
It's
What
wild.
day
It
are
was
you at the moment?
Day 73. Day 73 was meant to be yesterday. Sandown was abandoned. So now we're doing like 73.2.
Yeah.
Version
okay.
2. Yeah.
Wow. So like you said, you quit your job. What were you doing beforehand?
I was working marketing for a bookmaker.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We won't mention who.
Yeah. No, I was working in
No
marketing.
plugs.
I was just like a social media manager kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So was it a smooth transition, obviously, over, like, you kind of have a foot in the door in the industry then?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, I grew up around it. I grew up around like racing, and like social media is just everything right now, right? Like you guys know, like it's the easiest way to reach people. Like before, famous people were like actors, sports people. That's it. Now, famous people is anyone on TikTok who can gather half a following.
But you can get on your phone and you see videos 2, 3, 4 million views.
100%.
And it's just and it's a nobody.
And you have done nothing.
Yeah.
You have done
Look at
absolutely.
Hook
You have
Tour
done the
Girl
most
and stuff like
random
that.
dance.
Yeah.
Hawk Tour.
Yeah.
Hawk Tour.
Just
What was that
goes-
shit?
Yeah.
Are we serious?
Just went nuts.
Are we serious? Like people are going to work, and then that was
She went
It's
from like
wild.
never being sighted in the middle of like
all she did
Nashville.
was go out on a circuit, and now she's fucking rich
It
and
works.
famous.
Sir.
What
It
you know
works.
what I mean?
It works.
All through social media. Social media doesn't exist. She's still like a bartender or whatever.
But that's the world we live in.
Yeah.
Like, that is the world we live
You know
in.
what I
now.
mean?
Like anything can go viral at any minute.
Yeah, that's
It goes
right.
nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Have you had any other, like, opportunities from corporates or anything off the back of this? Obviously, you've got quite a following now.
Yeah, a few knocking about. Like I'm not really interested in like doing content or anything like that, because, well, bookies don't want to, because it's like I don't want to be associated with this guy. Also, I say pretty rogue shit, so they're a bit reluctant naturally. I'm not going to say I don't get it, but not really. Like I'll maybe eventually. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
How do you go about like getting on? Like I know you go to the tab and you put it
Yeah.
on cash. Is it difficult? Because I know myself. Like
No.
yeah, it's not.
Yeah, no, see, the tab know they're on film, right?
Yeah.
See, if Joe Blogs wants to place a $9,000 bet at the tab, they're 100% getting rejected.
Yeah.
If you want to get on to win 20, 30 grand, they're 100% getting rejected,
Not gonna
especially a day out of the race. They're 100%. But now, you know, I'm not going to say which tab I go to, but when they see an $8,000 bet at X tab,
They know
They
who
know it's
coming
me.
from, yeah.
They know it's me every time. And Marianne she's the goat. She's
We love you, Marianne.
Everyone loves Marianne. Head office calls up straight away after I put the bet on. Goes, "Oh, was that Ben? Was that Ben?" They're like, "Yeah, it was Ben. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was
So they're
Ben."
loving it, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
they're
look, they've got free publicity. They've got
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
most free
100%.
brand. So even if I do end up winning, they've got just so much free brand awareness out of this whole thing that
Yeah.
they're more than happy to just let me on.
So take
Fuck
the
it.
loss and
Do you
take
know what
the
I mean?
blood,
Maybe
like-
if they do take a little bit, they might even end up winning. You know what I mean? But ultimately, they've got so much free brand awareness that it looks fucking awful if they start rejecting bets all over social media too.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a cheat code actually.
Yeah,
someone
well,
should just walk in and just, if you want to get on to win 50 grand, you should just walk in to
And film it.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Do all
film
the
it.
professional punters
That's
out
right,
there. like-
exactly. Yeah.
There you
go.
There's your in.
There's your Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Your next
You wanna hold
Saturday.
the camera?
Yeah, that's right.
I suppose too, like the industry, the whole reason Racing X was started was because the industry is falling asleep at the wheel with
100%.
attracting that new audience. So if you've
Yeah.
got someone like yourself, you're young, you've got a massive following, and you've got that personality where how many people are going to copy you off the back of this? The industry just benefits from people like you.
Yeah. Oh, we spoke about it before. Like, racing content generally is so fucking boring. It is so boring. Like, Joe Shitbags on racing, I don't know, all those racing shows, talking about some horse's first time record. Like, no one cares. No one cares. I don't give a fuck, and I love racing. Like, imagine trying to get someone into racing, and some 80-year-old motherfucker is talking about this horse on TV. Like, I
How
don't
it trolled on
care.
TV.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
That's it. It's
You
an
know what I mean?
exciting thing, like, and that's what
Yeah.
you provide. You provide that like punch exciting, and that's
Yeah.
what like the younger generation wants.
Yeah, that's
What
right.
everyone watches.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
It works.
100%.
And it doesn't even have to relate to like dead set sort of racing sort of content. Like we just went
Yes.
for a drink before. We walked in, barman behind the bar, straight away recognised him. Do you know what I mean? And whether the guy bets or doesn't bet, that's regardless of what even you're trying to achieve in racing. It's just about bringing sort of that awareness to a demographic that might have been disengaged or
Yes.
not really even sort of across racing in the past.
Yes.
But I mean, I was blown away.
Yeah.
My
Well,
mate
like
comes
the
back. He goes, "What are you doing here?" He goes,
I
thinking,
was
"Please,
already
please,
making out."
please, don't bet with us today."
Yeah.
Well, the bloke who likes NRL or likes having a bet on the basketball, like
Yeah.
he recognises you and
Yeah.
he goes, "Oh shit, horse racing."
I
Like,
can
fuck,
tell
let's have a punt."
who, just from looking at how a person's like dressed and shit, I can tell whether they know me or not. Like, they're just like even at the airport on the way here.
Get asked for tips.
No. There was like 10 blokes and they were like wearing like stupid Oz tags thing. I think turns out they were on a box and I just saw them like, oh fuck, they're gonna
Here we
know.
go. Here we
Fuck,
go.
I got fucking hell. So I'm just like, oh shit.
What's the next? What's the next
And then like
favourite?
I'm 10 meters past and I got my fucking, I'm balls deep in music, AirPods in, like noise cancelling well and truly on. And then Benny, I'm like, oh shit. They got me.
Like it's 7
And then
o'clock at the
I was
airport,
like,
leave me
hey boys, how you
alone.
going? How are you? And then like I'm going to my gate, about to jump on the plane, and they like 4 of them just come, like, oh, can I please get a photo? I was like, yeah, sure, no worry. Like you can tell the type of person who knows me. It's very, it's very niche, kind
Which
of
is
dribbler
bizarre
specific.
because you could be James McDonald, you could be Hugh Bowman, and they still would not get that.
No.
Going to the gate.
weird, eh?
It's not
Of-
the same. Like
and-
you, I think the name is more famous than the face.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
And that's what
Yeah,
ends up
definitely,
happening.
definitely.
It's like you
Definitely.
can go
Yeah.
into most households in Australia and mention J-Mac.
Yeah.
And people know who he is.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I put him in a 6-card lineup,
100%.
no one would put
Wouldn't
him
say
out.
it.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
it'd almost be the opposite for you. People would recognise your
Yeah.
face, but I suppose a name
Is that
just
that
as
guy?
good.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, you that guy
yeah.
from Instagram?
But yeah,
that's what I mean.
you're a
Yeah, mate,
punter.
I'm that guy.
But that's
Yeah.
it. That's it. It's like it's
Yeah.
a weird sort of
Yeah.
catch-22.
Which
Yes.
is what we want to do, right?
Yeah.
Which is what we want to do in Racing X is bring those personalities, which are just names on pieces of paper or form guides, and bring them into the media.
Yeah.
Bring them into the space, like what
And they
we did
don't
with,
get
what we did
their
with James.
platform to have their say. Like they do win
Yes.
the race and they pilot the horse, but 99% of their content is goggles on, helmet
Yeah.
on the back of a horse.
Yeah.
They're also
Yeah.
just media trained out of the arse.
Well,
So
that's-
they, once they
yeah.
can't, they're not even allowed to say anything meaningful or funny or witty, like because there's no.
But it's a
Leverage
it's,
for
it's
them
the
to
sporting
actually speak
kings
their
too.
minds.
Like you can't be like that shit. That thing runs shit.
Yeah,
You're not gonna
exactly.
say
That's
that
what I'm
on
saying.
Yeah,
Sky Channel
yeah.
on
Oh, you know,
Saturday.
get a
Yeah,
good job
yeah.
and shit. Oh,
Racing's so hard for that in your opinion can be controversial even if you don't mean for it to be.
Yeah.
And if you're speaking your mind and it's not being received by traditional media and
Yes.
being spun in a certain way, you are crucified.
100%.
How have you handled the controversy? I assume you get a lot of trolls and potentially hate from the people in this
How the death
industry.
threats is
Yeah,
my
death
questions.
threats. Oh, it keeps me young. Yeah, I tell you what, tell you that for free. I mean,
You have a
like,
few greys,
I've had
actually.
greys. I've
You
had
have a few
greys
greys.
like early in the year, but now they're just absolutely seeping.
Did
through.
you-
You're 23.
did you-
I was
I find,
like,
like,
really?
Yeah,
23.
yeah, hang on, cunt.
Did you find like from
Go
my
on to me.
experience, when you first start, you're like, shit, like these people actually hate me, and then when you move through that, you go, they just back the loser. Like they don't respond to it like a normal person, and just move on.
I-
Like, it's are you what
You
stage
can't
you're
care.
at?
You can't possibly care. If you care, it's just not for you.
Yeah, 100%.
Like people, are like, oh, do you care? I'm like, if I cared, I would have quit a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like,
and some of the most like vile shit.
oh mate, it's brutal.
Yeah.
I don't really care. As long as they don't say anything about like my family or anything like that, I don't give a shit. But it's like it's all these empty threats. Like you're probably just some loser. You know, they always
Yeah,
are.
keyboard-
You never,
keyboard
They're
warrior.
$5 punters. Like, I used to get like,
Yeah.
I hope you fall off and break your neck all the time, which
sure,
I've done
yeah.
twice. So it hasn't stopped me yet. So what are you going to do? Like,
yeah,
I
exactly.
tried for you. Like,
yeah. I don't. You just can't care. You can't possibly care. Like people, are like, how do you deal with it? I'm like, you don't have a choice. You just deal with it. It's fine. It's just.
How
So
do you
how-
feel the industry has responded to you though?
Traditional people hate it because they like the mainstream way of thinking towards racing, how it's a gentleman's sport, and all
Conformity.
this conformity. People don't like doing things differently. People just like the status quo, especially old people, because racing is generally speaking an old people sport. That's why so many young people are dying off. And to see someone kind of like revitalize the industry, I think has just thrown them off. And I'm finding young people love me. Blokes above the age of about 40 hate me because someone's thrown the handbook out of the bin and done something different. And I think it's that. Like, also, I say pretty rogue shit, which probably doesn't help. So yeah.
do you think that is because those older generation or those old people don't understand that what you're doing is going on in living rooms or pubs across the country, no matter what? The only difference is you got a high volume and a camera in front of you.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah,
just
that's right.
like
Pretty much.
Your mates are in there, left, right, and center, punting on races left, right, and center.
Yeah.
It's happening, and that's what people want to do.
Yeah, he's just documenting
Yeah,
it.
he's just documenting
Essentially,
it. Yeah,
It's
to make it fun.
All it is
Yeah.
the same. I'm doing the same thing everyone
Yeah.
else does, just to a massive scale.
How's your family and friends taking it?
My
So-
brother is getting the shits because he would get 5 people come up to him a day, be like, "Oh, Benny Scarf," and he's so over it. He's so because
They think that
Because
we
you-
look
he's-
so
yeah,
similar. Like
yeah,
I showed
right.
her, oh, my phone's over there. I won't bother.
Oh,
But
we'll
like,
get it. We'll get it. Yeah, we'll cut it up.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
cut
yeah.
it. Trust me. Yeah.
yeah. So many people come, and then like, even last Friday, I was at the pub. I got a face, and I assume my brother was out. Got a FaceTime from my brother. I go, oh fuck, I know what this is gonna be, because I answer. He's with like these 4 dribblers. There's 4 just dudes. This is the pub, and he's like, these guys literally don't even believe I'm not you.
really,
They tell me.
really.
So
Similar we
is
look.
he single though?
He is single.
Oh, so he'd be
He is
loving
single.
it. Like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh man,
yeah.
see, there's not
So-
much female attention. In this game. There's female attention in this game.
Blokes
there's a
in
very,
trading.
There's a very common misconception.
You get a lot of numbers of
that I
blokes
get
in
some
trading
all these
shorts.
women, like, messaging me. It's bullshit. It's so bullshit. It's all just
85%
hey, bro,
men.
The 4 in the next, like, woo, thanks. How good's this?
just a money bag.
Can't
left, right,
wait.
and
Yeah,
centre.
thanks, mate. Cheers. Good luck with it. Yeah, I'll back it. Yeah, on. No. Yeah, family and friends are all very, very much on board. Very much on board to an extent. They don't like. They're kind of like, I shouldn't have said that. They're very,
Yeah.
Freedom of speech. So
Yeah,
you're
well,
like,
my older sister, I tend to take the viewpoint that if she's not offended, I haven't gone far enough. But if my brother's
Yeah,
if my brother's offended,
that's a
I've
great
probably gone
barometer.
too far.
Yeah.
Good
so
lord.
somewhere between that perfect middle ground is where I want to be.
I suppose
Right.
it's a fine line too, isn't it? Like,
Exactly, it is. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So for like personally, I want to know how do you find your pick? Like obviously it went from the last of the day and now it's like your best of the day.
Yeah.
So how do you identify your best of the day? Are you
I
a
like-
form man or
Yeah, I like leaders. I think track bias is still underestimated in the market even to this day. I find interstate runners are the best, especially Sydney going interstate. I think that's like still probably the best form indicator going around. If you say
Especially Queensland.
if
Usually
you see a
like-
Sydney
Yeah,
horse
yeah.
go elsewhere, that Sydney form will always stack up. You're always in the hunt. If a Sydney horse goes to Brisbane, especially a Waller horse or something.
Have you got your eye on anything over the spring then?
That Jolly Star on the weekend, how good was that?
How good
That was
was
such a
she?
good horse. That's such a good. They threw up $3. I was like looking at it at 8:30 in the morning. $3.
Shaking.
Yeah, I was like, this is ridiculous. That was my best bet. As soon as I got to the tab, because the tab opens at 9 o'clock.
Were you like camping out, like waiting for an iPhone?
Seriously, no. That actually happened
tab
one
to
time. I
open?
was like waiting. I was outside. I thought it
10
opened
grand in
at
cash
9.
in your pocket out the front.
Weekdays
good
it opens
one.
at 9:30. I was waiting out the front. I thought, now I'm one of those guys who waits at the front of the tab.
Is that your moment where-
killing it? Obviously.
Is that your moment when you found out you were a degenerate?
Yeah. Well, that's when. Yeah. Well before, trust me. Yeah. And then by the time it opened, it was like 260. I was like, oh.
It's
Whatever.
a big
It
hit
wins.
too with
Whatever,
the
it wins.
volume you go.
Exactly.
If you have
I
100
remember-
on, you might lose
There
40.
was a bet I had, and I backed it at, this was a month ago, I backed it at 260. It's jumped 440 and won. I've had like 8.2 grand on it. I've done the maths. I've lost 20 grand just in price. Like if something goes at 1 point, like three to 320, I've already lost like
That's the, even the
$700.
even the deductions. Like you take a $2
Deductions.
run, and the second favourite comes out. Next minute you're getting a like
Exactly.
$1.80,
Exactly
and like
right.
the people having 10 grand on. Like, it's
That's
a
right.
real big kick in the nuts,
massive.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, you changed your betting tactics from 50 cents to 10 to 5. If you could
Yeah.
go back to the beginning, would you change anything from the get-go?
No, I'd be broke. I went 9 lose in a row. If I was doing 50 cents, that meant, and I was doing 50. I went 9 lose in a row when I had like 100 to 150k.
Was this on the last?
So that means I would be going 50 times
That's your
9 bets, 50k times 9. I don't have 450k. That's also what I'm figuring out about this. People think I have a lot more money than I do. I don't. Like, yeah, people are like, see me at the pub, oh, buy us a drink. I'm like, hang on, fuck off. I do one. Who are you? Yeah.
Well, that's
So is
the
that your
others-
worst? Nine?
I went 9 lose in a
9 and
row.
0.
That was
Oh,
took,
9.
0 and 9. That took
Ooh.
some serious mental fortitude.
Yeah,
to
that
get through
was-
that. Yeah,
So,
this
like-
game can be taxing.
So we see this stuff like online. Do you punt outside of that? Like
Not anymore. I used to.
You used to?
Yeah.
I used to a lot, and now once you put $8,500
yeah,
on a
$50
horse,
each way.
it
Doesn't cut
doesn't
it anymore.
cut it. It does
Yeah.
not cut it. How could you possibly care?
And are you in it for the thrill of the bet, or are you in it to make the money? Like, is that when you place that bet? Is it the
both. Like the heart rate gets so high. How could it not? Like, you can tell. Like people go, "Oh, you're cancelling the bets and stuff." Everyone's got their theories, their little tinfoil hat theories. I'm like, if I'm if I'm cancelling that bet, like I should be in Hollywood. I'm in the wrong industry. I'm carrying on so much. Like,
Yeah.
You know,
it's-
it's life changing money that
it
you put on
is
too,
seriously,
like, and
especially once you go 2-3 in a row. It's
Yeah.
like, shit.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other side of this is, like, is your tactics sustainable? Are you
Fuck
going to
no.
do this long term? What are you going to do in the long term with
hate
all of
that
this?
question.
Is there a number? Like you're at day 73,
Yeah.
72
like
and a half.
72 and a
I
half,
wanna
72 and a
time
quarter, I think it was.
Do you have
So
a
you're going to go
goalpost?
to 90,
So I don't know. So
100,
so
74?
so what's it today? The 29th, the 28th,
Yeah.
29th, right? It should be timed well so that day 100 is on the cup. It's on Cup Day.
Oh.
Yeah, just by pure coincidence. So that's why
You
I
heard
wanna
it
do-
here first.
Yeah. I haven't mean.
Is
for it to
that?
do
Can we
that.
check that? Can someone check that?
So that's
for us?
so what's that? So it's day 73.
Some
We're talking
days from
27
today?
days.
Let's have a look. Let's see how many days away
November,
we are.
like the 4th or some shit, right? And it's
First Tuesday
September,
of November.
October.
Are you
right
going to
now.
go?
probably yeah. So we've got 27 days, 27 betting days between now and like say the 4th of November or something. That's, I think we'll make it work. We'll make it work.
If you need a hand carrying that duffel bag in the
Yeah,
race
sure.
course,
Yeah. Okay.
you know where I
can
am.
do. Yeah, cracking. Can do.
All right, so we're going to move on now to our lift of the week, brought to you by Tenacity Cranes. Luke, you have picked a horse that's also very close to Benny's heart, as you mentioned. Jolly Star won so arrogantly, and that pat on the neck from James as he crossed the line, that just was the cherry on top for me. What were your thoughts, Luke?
It's just easy. Like, look, I know it's a lift for the week, but I don't think James did much lifting in that one. So, like, it was a sit and steer job. It was all the animal. She was just a freak. Look, she got the good run. James gave her the great steer. And I think I'm not an early crow man, but if anyone was watching that at the 200, I think they were lining up.
Yeah,
to
you'd
get
be feeling pretty
It was
good.
never in doubt.
Yeah.
She, like regally bred. You know, she's from the great family. I think winning the Guineas last year just in the back of your mind, always can she go first up 1200? Obviously, coming off the Arrowfield win, normally those good horses bounce off that. That, even though it's a Group 2, I think it probably should be Group 1. It's a 1200 championships, day 2. You win that race, you're generally a pretty good horse. Classic Legend won it, went on to win an Everest. So I think in the back of my mind, I thought, is she vulnerable 1200 first up, coming off a Caulfield Guineas as a 3-year-old? But to do what she did and the way she did it and the time she ran and the
It was
effort,
just too easy.
the
It
effort
was
that
actually
she-
too easy. Like, yeah.
There's talk she'll go first up now in an Everest.
Well, yeah, she definitely stated her case for an Everest, but I'm
she'll get a
I'm
slot.
curious
She will get a slot.
if she was in
Yeah.
your stable,
She will get a slot.
would you
to.
potentially look at a Golden Eagle route? Like,
But there's Jim
How-
Ryder. That's the
That's the
there's
other-
James Ryder. Like,
Well,
I know
is he committed to Giga Kick?
No, I don't think.
I'm pretty sure
I
I
know
saw
him
in the
well enough
news-
that he won't commit to anything
yeah.
until he has to commit.
Yeah,
to
Right,
yeah. Also,
okay.
he's
So-
he has all the time in the world to wait.
Exactly.
too.
Like
Yeah.
if you've got
She
Jockey
will be
B
there.
and James,
She will be in that race. There's no questions. Owned by the Lindsay family, prominent family. Waller's got a slot. Like, there's nothing else that's really sort of putting their hand up to, not only to win the race, but to even get a
If
slot.
the Everest was 2 weeks after that race,
I should be immoral.
she'd be
Yeah.
immoral.
Should be immoral.
But it's not.
Yeah, so that's why they're talking maybe first up to keep her fresh in the back of their mind. Maybe she's better over further. I mean, maybe she could do both. Everest and the Golden Eagle.
she looks like a tough mare. Like, just everything she does just looks
It was
effortless.
just-
At
And
the end of the day,
It
that
was
Everest
easy.
money is just
Easy.
If
You
you think
can't
you're a
look elsewhere.
chance,
You
if
can't.
you think you're a chance, you cannot say
Unequivocally,
no to that.
she will be there. 100% she'll be there. I don't know that.
Well, you're back
of-
there again at the short odds
We'll see.
for future episodes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, another one that probably could have been our lift of the week was Via Sistina. She was in Luke's Love and Loathe this week. Perfect run up the fence. Absolutely destroyed poor old fangirl out the back there. What do you guys
Yeah,
think?
like, look, on a personal level, I was all over the second horse, but the ride she got from Karen and the way that she ended up winning and the fact that she wants further, she's proven herself as a good mare, but that win was just over the top. It's just tough, like Waller-Karen combination. She beat Fangirl.
At
Lift of the week.
1400, I was filthy. I was absolutely. I was on her all week. All week. She was $6, $7,
I had to mute the group chat for a while there.
$9.
Yeah.
She got to $11.
Sterling loves the old girl.
And then I didn't even back her. I was on Zoo Gotcha. I was on Fangirl. And then to see it coming up, those 2 year-long horses in the race.
Yeah.
I'm going, fucking please be the other one. 'Cause I couldn't hear it.
Were
I
you
said, please.
swinging off the
I'm
top?
sorry, please be the other one. Please be the other one.
yeah.
Please be the other one. And then she fucking Via Sistina come up, $11 something. I was at the Turf Club. I went,
That was
It was just
stupidly
something.
overs too.
over.
Like, you just...
It was
she'll
a-
go into next start being at even money.
Yeah.
Like,
I
Yes.
couldn't believe it. I said to the guys in the office. All week, Via Sistina, she's one.
Richard's quietly over there counting money.
I was furious that for my Bella's best that we put up,
Yeah.
I wrote Fangirl the obvious choice. I was
Yeah.
so close to deleting that post straight after that race. I was like, I just can't.
She got too far back, and probably one of the only times, our boy J-Mac got outridden a little bit. He just got
Yeah,
shuffled back
Yes.
an extra pair.
It's a game of inches. Like, that's what racing
You
is.
know,
and-
swap the runs.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
and
oh.
Fangirl
But
wins.
you don't,
Absolutely.
you don't ride Fangirl like you rode Via Sistina. That's
No.
the thing. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Karen took all the shortcuts,
Yeah.
probably arguably went up the worst part of
Yeah.
the track, and it paid off for him. Whereas if he runs second
Yeah.
and Zugotcha wins,
Yeah.
like, he's still a hero.
Yeah, good
Whereas
run, back
the other
next
way,
time.
if Fangirl goes up the fence, cuts all the corners and runs second, he's crucified the media.
Yeah.
Waller's
Yes.
giving him a
Yeah,
spray.
yeah.
Like,
And look, their closing 600s are almost identical.
Yeah.
32.89 and 32.90 or something.
oh,
But
Fangirl beats
Via-
her. You run
yeah,
the race
yeah,
next
yeah.
2 weeks' time, Fangirl beats her all day.
Yeah.
Because James just rides her better and Fangirl
Yeah.
beats her all day. So, but racing's not about do-overs.
Well, the
Yeah.
exciting thing is, I guess, Via Sistina goes on her path to the Cox Plate. Probably the Maccabi Diva next, 1600. Won't get $11, unfortunately. And then she'll meet
big girl.
Jenny from the block. in the Cox Plate.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Warby though, up in Queensland?
Can we fucking
Began
Fuck
awkwardly, slow to begin,
Fuck
was
Warby.
absolutely
Warby wants to make you
smacked
give
from
up
the
the punt.
punters. Oh,
Yeah.
Is that 5 and what was it? He ran on again.
He run huge.
he
his run
came
was
home
huge.
well.
Like, to be
Warby.
fair, he half missed a kick, and look, I love Pug. He's one of the better riders, or if not the best rider in Queensland. But he come out slow, bit of a victim of circumstances with the run he got, and then I know it's hard to talk about because I'm sitting on the couch and he's on his back, but he just needed a bit of a punch into the race
Yeah.
to make up that sort of half length or a length and a half for
Yeah.
600, and then he hits a line like he does, and he wins by, even if he wins by a nose, we're all saying,
Yeah.
hey.
We're happy.
But look, his run was huge, but it just, it's
I
sickening.
just think Ryan needs those horses. He needs them in the right spot with the momentum, and then he can get them home. He's not that rider that when you need to stand over them and get them into their work a little bit.
Sometimes you're sort of
You just
dealt
get
about bad hand as a jockey, and you got to force a good hand. Like he sort of
Yeah,
missed the kick,
yeah.
he was back there, he had horses round him, and instead of going, okay, I'm going to wait for a run or whatever was running through his head to put himself in a position to win
Yeah.
the race, there would have been another jockey out there sort of shove one out the way
Yeah,
or
yeah,
push
yeah.
half a length forward.
Yeah.
You might have been 3 deep, you might have been exposed a bit
Yeah.
early, but you give that horse a length to a length and a half start, and you don't have to run down a tearaway leader, which
Yeah.
is basically what happened.
Yeah.
Like,
And he was the best horse in the race. He was crunched. Tony declared it. Like, it just everything ticked every box. I had mates texting me 10 minutes out. TG declared. I come from like 4 or 5 different people.
The post race.
What was the post-race?
Would have been nice. Would have been nice.
What was the post race? Didn't see it.
No,
No,
no.
I
Well,
didn't see it.
I mean the unofficial.
I reckon the spray.
The unofficial
Yeah.
I reckon
one
the spray would have been
nice.
good.
Oh,
And he
you
can
can
give
only
one too, Tone.
Yeah.
He
The
can give one too.
spray would have been good.
I'm curious to know, Luke, you could probably give us a bit more on this, but like Sterling was saying, there is a point of, was it the ride or was he a victim of circumstances? And from my experience, I found that our stronger jockeys in Queensland who can ride aggressively are the younger guys coming through the ranks. And obviously a lot of the older jockeys have probably come up from down south and, you know, they've got their technique down pat. What do you think the Queensland riders need?
Well, it's not so much about Queensland riders, it's about jockeys in general, right? So you've got, like, it is a game of inches, right? So if you can make up a centimetre at the 600 and you get beat a nose, or you win by a nose, that's the difference. And everyone always thinks that the sort of focal point is sort of when they come off and make their sprint. Your focal point in the race when the pace quickens. So usually around the 600 mark. Now, if you've got a tearaway leader and you're back in the field and you understand that that leader has to come back to you, you also need to understand that your horse can make up 6 lengths, can't make up 8 lengths. So you've got to position your horse within 6 lengths of the leader at the 600 because you can only run those times to run home.
Yeah.
Now, the reverse is true in a slow pace. So it's all about being in sort of what they call the fulcrum of the race or the ideal position of the race to make sure that your horse is not spending too much gas to be where it is in the run, but also has enough energy and enough gas to run over the leaders or kick clear if it is in front. That's why you see so many horses like a gay horse. They're rock hard fit. You get Timmy Clark on, he sends them to the front, puts a bit of pace on, he steadies them up a bit, and then he kicks clear. And they're 3 and 4 in front when they turn the corner, and they win because they're rock hard fit and he's ridden them perfectly.
Yeah.
Whereas if any other trainer jockey combination might have done it and got it wrong by a split second, they get beat a nose. It happens every day of the week.
And is it the senior jocks versus the up and coming or lesser experience? Is there a difference between feel and literally counting?
Well, it's not so, from my experience, not so much counting. So the easiest way to put it to someone who's never ridden in a race, imagine driving a car with no speedo, no gas tank, no nothing, right? So you're basically sitting there on blind feel. So you need to know how fast you're going, you need to know how much petrol you got left in the tank, and you need to know how far away those leaders are,
a good
or
analogy,
how far,
Yeah.
like how far back maybe the favourite is compared to you. So not only do you have to outride the favourite or the 3 or 4 best horses in the race, you got to outride this rogue thing that's Pride of Jenny 20 in front or whatever it might be. So there's so many things that are running through your head, and then you've got to understand the horse underneath you, like how good is it? Most of the time, it's the first time you've sat on it, or like you've seen the form, you've done your videos, whatever it might be. But you get on this horse completely blind. You're in a 1,400 metre mile race, whatever it might be, and everything in your head about how that race is going to run. As soon as those gates open, it goes straight out the window. Your speed map non-existent. So you've just got to completely recalculate everything. And James is probably the best at it. You see him plenty of times on horses that should go back and he's outside the leader because he jumped well or the pace is steadied or something goes. Or you see those little bush tracks where something will take off at the 800 because everyone's asleep and trying to ride 13 to the furlong. Next minute, 3 in front, turning the home. Those horses can't make up the ground. I don't care if you're the best horse in the land. You can't ride home in 9.9. Can't do it. So that's what's going through a jockey's head all at once, every second, and then it changes 5 or 6 times a race. So, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And Benny, from your perspective, is there any trainer and even jockey combinations that you avoid due to you don't like how they ride around?
Do we have a curse? We all have our jockey curses.
J-Max burnt me historically. No, I mean like not as a entire, not for like 5 years or anything.
He's a terrible rider.
During these like last 72 days, whatever, J-Mac was the first winner I had on him. He's fucking just burnt me.
Just now, this last weekend.
He's burnt me up until now.
Really?
I had a...
That goes against your, like, talking about your principle. You like on-speed horses, right?
Yeah.
He's not an on-speed rider.
He's not. No, that's right. Yeah.
Like, he's
As you said, when you find Tim Clark on a leader, like...
Oh, gay Tim Clark.
Look,
You
you're
even
always
have
in
to
the
do the
hunt.
form.
Yeah.
Could be 100 to 1. You're in the hunt.
Not even that.
You know
You
what
watch
I mean?
it open sevens and gets to 620 or
right.
something, and you're like, okay, can't get enough on quick enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But,
that's right.
but going back to what I'm saying, like what jockeys do, this is why I love the way James rides, is he'll be back there and he'll understand the pace of the race.
That's right.
You
Yeah.
see-
I want to know what everyone's looking out for this weekend. From a personal level, I'm really excited to watch the San Domenico. Always find it interesting to see if those star 2-year-olds can train on into their 3-year-old season. Stormboy and Gatsby's meeting for the first time, so I think that'll be an interesting watch. But from a more personal and a sporting perspective, Daisy Pearce is making her debut as an AFLW coach for West Coast.
Right.
She's great media personality. She's got great sporting knowledge. So I wouldn't be surprised if she comes in and dominates AFLW League. And I wonder if she might be the first female coach we see of an AFL men's team.
Really?
Might be an early crow.
Really?
Does she go
Mark
1-0
this
or
date.
0-1 for
Mark
the first
this
game?
date.
That's what we need. We're a punting family.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, Luke, what are you looking forward to?
Obviously, my contender v pretender starts this weekend, so I've got a bit of a controversial pick there, and like to see how accurate it is, because I'm sure I'm going to get a few wrong, but I'd like to get the first one right. Would be
No
nice.
pressure on old gentleman Roy for you.
Yeah, gentleman Roy. Look, I love Jenny. I really do. I just think, I know it's a Group 1 and I shouldn't be saying this, but it's her barrier trial. This isn't a grand final.
Pride of Jenny.
Yeah.
Pride of Jenny.
Yeah.
This isn't a grand final.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a distance. Her first up record's terrible, for lack of a better word. She's not a 1,400 metre horse. I hope she proves me wrong, because I love this horse on a personal level, but I will
Yeah.
not be taking.
It's $2.50.
You're not taking.
Yeah,
those
there's-
horses, mate.
yeah.
Like,
I
you're
think
not
this
even
could be
batting.
a bit of a, there's a big hype, right? You got Jenny and Brightside. I just think it could fall a bit flat. Could be, a Gentleman Roy, Antino
That's
fighting out
Yeah.
the finish.
If he gets the run like he did
know?
in the Group 2, Gentleman Roy, I don't think he gets.
There's
beat.
a few whispers around for
What was he
Antino.
at? He was at like $11, gentleman Roy too. The real juicy at the
Do we
moment.
have a Tony
Do we have a-
contact? to see how he galloped
There
on
is a
Tuesday?
few there is a few
No,
whispers.
his gallop was live.
Can we get a
He-
thumbs up or a
he's-
thumbs
Yeah.
down from Tone? Like,
Tones is
I'm
happy.
telling you, there's some whispers for Antino. If he's ever going to win a Group 1, it's this one.
Yeah.
Like first up, 1,400 is his sweet spot.
Do we
shoulda won.
genuinely think though that Antino is a Group 1 horse, or will he win a Group 1 based off of luck?
Well, not so much luck. I think he might just sort of be at the right place at the right time.
So that's luck, Sterling.
Is that luck?
yeah, that's like,
That's
Well, I think
luck.
you make your own luck. I think if you're forward enough,
what luck means.
if
That's
you're,
it.
if you're forward enough, you're forward enough, and you're in the right
Sound like a
place,
lawyer.
in the right time.
Benny, what are you looking out for this weekend?
Oh, I had a look.
No.
I was keen on Pride of Jenny. Not as a betting proposition, but
Keen to
I'm
see her
really-
back.
yeah.
Keen to see her back.
yeah.
She
a
adds,
rate- yeah,
Just
race
she
it's,
adds,
it's good for a race. It's
she
like it
adds
hypes
that
you up.
theatre.
Like,
Yeah,
fuck,
yeah.
we're back kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Spring
all the good
racing.
horses are coming
like
back.
she's a good horse.
She adds the
Like,
theatre.
Declan
Yeah.
deserves
theatre.
it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
And the
means
owners,
unbelievable.
the
The owner's
owners,
wild. Like if she
Fucking
gets
out
beat,
there.
it's
Yeah,
a,
yeah.
it's a media
Everyone else's
shitstorm,
fault.
and if she
Yes.
wins, it's a media shitstorm. And
Yeah.
I just like the whole. I know going back to the jockey thing, but just like Declan's rider and the Queen Elizabeth, like just take a bow
Yeah,
kind of thing.
it was sick, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was he's a great jockey in his own right. He probably doesn't get the recognition he does, but I think that really put the spotlight on him. And you're like, you come over, you relocated your family, and then you go out and you fucking nail that.
Yeah.
And you're on the
Oh, for
match.
sure.
Like, well done.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
good
That
guys.
shit puts you on him
Yeah.
for you guys. Very, very good. Very good.
All right. Well, it's going to be
that's
a
trademarked.
very exciting.
Actually,
That's another.
TM. Yeah,
That's another
Don't
5,000.
fucking nick that. Why I fucking nicked that. I haven't actually trademarked that yet. So.
Trademark it. We
It's
actually
mine
did it
now.
this morning, so you can buy it off us.
Hey, in-house lawyers.
All right. We will catch you next week on Racing Extra, where we bring in star Group 1 jockey and NFL superfan Regan Bayless to rip into the new NFL season starting next Friday. Racing X is proudly brought to you by Corpshaw. Make sure you like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and get in on the action for a next generation racing experience.